Another dark log of the diary of the griever named John Weaver, which is me from Roseman, California. Time index right now is 4:07 in the morning, West Coast time. It is the 21st of January 2026. Shout out to the artist in recovery, Darryl P. Dude, we gotta talk. Okay, you're ashamed of being American? You're ashamed of being American? I gotta slap you upside the face on this one. You hadn't even studied your American history when you're going through K through 12, did you? And now you're seeing what's happening, and it's affecting a great deal, and now you notice the damn shit? Good Lord, I gotta smack you further. Thing is, when you're in history courses, they were supposed to have been teaching you something about how we got our country in the first place, and how everybody else was getting the countries that they were going to be doing in the first place. An eminent domain situation, dude. It's called command, it's called conquer. It's manifest destiny. And basically, we're telling you that you either play ball with us or else we're going to kick the shit out of you. And we've been doing that all our lives, all of our existence in humanity. Am I getting the point clear to you? Sorry, I'm fixing up some stuff I've got over here. Darryl, you don't get it. I'm not trying to say this as impassionate. Because as Americans, yeah, we've made a lot of mistakes coming to this country, taking property from the Native Americans, or should I call them the indigenous? Because they were here first and we weren't. But we don't go around taking things unless we have two things crawling up our butt. Our egos and our need for resources. Hence, what we have right now is need for resources. And we lie about it because we think it's national security and we have to blind it. You're afraid of being American? You gotta learn more of the uglier truths concerning about our country, how we got here in the first place. Take some college courses, dude. Get them online if you have to. But read. Now, in regards to Trump, it is up to the GOP to get his ass out of there. But old head up his ass, Johnson, is not going to do it. He's the fall guy in Congress. I'm surprised everybody else in Congress is feeling the same damn way, at least on the GOP side, or the Trumplican side, as I keep calling them. The Democrats want to impeach, but we need majority in order to do that. And we just need to get a couple of people on the GOP side to do so. That way, we can throw the articles of impeachment in there, get Trump impeached. But then the fun part is the Senate, who still got their head up their asses with Trump. And they've got a majority in there that they haven't released yet. Or we haven't seen it yet. But if we can get him on the impeachment and not the enforcement, we got him on record. Which tells Trump which political enemies he's going to be going after next. You're afraid of being an American? When we got our colonies set up, we didn't want to be colonized. Actually, we didn't want to have England over our ass, but that was still our land. But we weren't the only neighbors here, dude. Spain, France, they had their empire too. And they were stirring up trouble with the indigenous. Read about it. The indigenous have plenty of history on that one. Because of that, not exactly too keen about the colonists when we came over. We also gave them death and disease. Death by disease and by the musket shot. But we took the land. Some of the natives were friendly enough. Tried to stay out of trouble before they got nailed by our damn disease. But slowly but surely we made our colonies the way they are. And yeah, we cheated. We stole it. We did almost just as heinous as we are doing right now with ICE and with the federal government. Clearly, when you have Arctic troops coming into Minnesota to scare the hell out of Minneapolis, while Minnesota is rallying its National Guards as defense. Hegseth is out of his fucking mind, and so is Trump, and so is Miller. And Walsh is not going to play games on this shit. It's bad enough when we have law enforcement being touted as being AWOL. Yeah, by the Trump administration, no doubt. They're AWOL because they were told by Steve Miller, you can't touch them, you can't do anything about our federal troops, you can't do anything about our agents. Go away. Go back to sleep. We're in charge. No, they're not. We had safeguards built into the Constitution of stating that we have federal troops not overseeing and overrunning the state local militia. You still need those guys. But if they're thinking they're going to be sending out the military on everybody, they're forcing a confrontation down our throats, dude. They're forcing the confrontation down our throats. We're going to be ending up in another civil war. Another 1860 if we're not careful. At least a combination of revolutionary and civil war. We're going to be running into this kind of shit storm right now. We got every damn politician and pastor out there that want peace and keep telling Trump knock this shit off. He's getting more and more deluded, and the doctors will not go against him. They won't. And concerning about that insane asylum, where the fuck were you? Last year they were talking about this damn thing like crazy. It was posted out there in July. I know I was getting that information. That he's going to be opening up all the insane asylums. He's going to be creating more and more of them. Only because this son of a bitch is already crazy enough anyway. He's crazy enough to go over to Switzerland and beat up on people verbally. We had credibility at one time. We haven't got it. We voted the asshole in. But the thing of it is, dude, we never accepted accountability, transparency, or responsibility. Did you? I have. I didn't do enough to keep that son of a bitch out. Or to prevent everybody else from doing this shit. I didn't do enough on my part. They chose. And now we got that kind of choice of America right now, when everybody else is losing their minds. So maybe we ought to be nuked. Yeah, I'm angry about the whole situation. I am. I'm angry that we can't fight back. I'm angry that if we happen to fight back, I mean, we show not just teeth, but teeth and arms. That gives Trump all the leverage he needs, according to his goons and his mind, of creating this revolutionary / civil war and making it into a bloodbath. Everyone's trying to keep this damn pressure cooker on the lid on the pressure cooker. Eventually that damn thing's going to blow. And it's going to blow big. And we're going to be in for it. You're ashamed of being American? How you think they felt a long time ago? Not just the Revolutionary War, but when you had to fight brother against brother in the Civil War. Over ideology, over economics, over slavery. You saw your brother in the other uniform. How do you think you felt? Of course, you bring up the idea concerning about eminent domain, but you want the neighbor's yard, you want the neighbor's house. Everything's so green over here, and yours is a piece of shit. You're going to take it over. You're going to beat them up. So now we are doing, I know there's a terminology out there I kept thinking about at this point. It's not eminent domain, but something that freeloaders would do. Taking over houses, and then it takes months to years to weed it out through the civil courts concerning about what kind of confiscation of property you've done on them. It's like when you leave your home and you come back a few minutes later and somebody else is living here. You don't know who the hell they are, but you can't get them out. Usually when we would look at it, it's civil matters, not criminal. Because that's how the laws would work in the States. With Trump, on the other hand, he's doing this on the international level. And yeah, it should scare the shit out of us. Does it make us feel like ashamed of being Americans? Yeah, and it also should be pissing us off at the same time. We shouldn't be this way. And I agree with it. Logistically and legally, we have to wait for the midterms. And he's going to only get worse. I never read his book, The Art of the Deal, but apparently this maybe is thumping. Weaken the enemy so much that when you're thumping his head that you can get something out of him. And yeah, the weak-minded are reading the books and bringing up the book sales on that one. I never did read the book. I didn't want to. I didn't want to read something from this asshole. But it looks like I got to listen more and more to what the son of a bitch has to say and be pissed off about it further and further. Because he's telling us what he wants. And he's going to do. And if he threatens NATO and the United Nations at this point, regarding the Greenland shit, and they can't agree with him, they can't placate him, they can't pacify him, is they really, really want to put up a fight on this one. Yes, the Danes have been our buddies since World War I or World War II, one of those two. We saved their asses. And they've been saving our asses. But now we backstab their asses? And two, Brutus? You think I like this shit? You think a lot of people don't like this shit? We hate this shit. But it's not enough. He wants the bloody nose. He wants his blood dribbling down his face so he could taste it. He wants proof that people are that screwed up because of his pushing and prodding, and then he can swipe and make a deal at this point over here. And he's hoping to do that with what he did going over to Davos. Yeah. Electrical problem? I don't think so. They'd have backups and redundancies, but going back because of a faulty light switch or something, give me a fucking break. But they're that paranoid to keep his ass alive. You want to hear something? All those ice raids we've had throughout the past year, guess where they did Target Zero at? My county. Kern County, California. Bakersfield, dude. Bakersfield. Doesn't mean anything to you, but to me, it's over the fucking hills. So let me show you something, schmuck. Go to Google Maps. Type out Bakersfield, California. And when you get that city, widen a shot. You'll see it's in the Central Valley. On the other side of the mountain ranges, southeast of it, is my territory. Town called Roseman, right next to Edwards Air Force Base. Too fucking close for comfort. And yet, we get the ice raids happening all over the Southland. I haven't heard much about Lancaster, Palmdale, but I'm surprised we're going to get some of that here too. And that's going to be pissing everybody else off. But they started at Ground Zero in Bakersfield in the agricultural area. and they were chasing migrants around, scaring the hell out of them. They were over at meeting places that these guys would congregate, get ready for their morning work in the fields. No wonder the food rotted, because ICE was there starting their shit up, and so was Bovino. Try that one out. Yeah, Bovino started his massacre start over there in my home state, in my home damn county I'm living in. Fucker. How do you think it makes me feel? I heard about him. I just didn't think it was going to be expanded to city by city by city. And we had to be the ground zero. We had to be the testing site for this shit. How do you think that makes me feel about it? Un-American? No, just one pissed off American. That's what I am. That's what you should be too, pissed off. We have to do this right, dude. We have to do this right. We have to constantly talk about it, argue about it, debate about it, but we get it out in the open. That is what being an American is all about. You can't deal with that one. I don't know what the hell you're going to be dealing with it. You're ashamed to be an American? Be pissed. Wear like a flag. A flag against the Trump. That's how we do it. That being said,